Hi. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about birth. So, I grew up the oldest of 11, and then we adopted an older sister, so now we have 12. And my mom had a lot of us at home. I can't remember, like 8 or something at home. And And we got to be there for the births at home, and my mom would have us all have a different job during the birth. So somebody would warm the blanket up underneath their shirt. Somebody would, take down the time. Somebody would get to pick out the first clothes to put on the baby. Somebody got to put the first diaper on, cut the cord. There were a lot of us, so we could have a lot of different chores that we could do or ways that we could help out. And so I think that's where my love of birth and my desire to home birth came from, I'm sure. Got a flyway hair there. Oh well. Anyway, so I got to cut my brother's cord, and I got to be there for my mom when she had a water birth. Her last baby, she labored in the water for a while, and I saw her dilate so quickly. I could see that she was laboring and doing really well, and that her body transitioned into being ready to push really quick after she got in the water because it relaxed her so much. And I thought, you know what? That's the way to go. And whenever I would have cramps or, anything like that with having to do with my cycle, if I got in a bath or the water or used heat, it helped me relax and feel less pain. So I really wanted to try a water birth. So my first birth ever, I decided to have at home in the water, and I got to have 3 different midwives because I went to one, and Marilyn Skousen, and she had to, she was going to be gone out of town. So then I went to another, I want to say Hennessy Hansen or Honey Gapmeyer, and she was going to be out of town also. So then I ended up going to another, Suzanne Smith. And in the end, all 3 of them were in town when I had my baby. And so they all 3 came. And that was really magical for me. It was pretty incredible to have all 3 of them there. And so I labored in the water, but my baby was posterior. So so they used, I can't remember what it's called, those little nodes that they hook up on your back to kind of confuse the signals in your back. You can buy them really cheap. I can't think of what they're called. Anyway, they used one of those to try to confuse the signals of the nerves in my back because I started getting lots of lower back pain, and that's how they could first recognize that this baby's probably not in a happy position. And I've since learned how to help with that. So now I never have a baby that's in the wrong position. Really cool. So if you get on your hands and knees and, just stay on your hands and knees for a little bit every day, and you can even get down on your elbows and your knees, but if you'll stay in that position a little bit every day or as often as possible, my babies have always been in the right position after that. I learned that from another midwife. Anyway, so this baby was posterior, and so I was super excited about birthing a baby and doing it natural, and I remember I rocked back and forth a lot, and I made a lot of noise. I'd seen my mom do all of these things, and I was just sure that this was going to be awesome for me, and it really was awesome, but it took a lot longer than I wanted it to. It's like, I want to say 20-hour labor. And then after I rocked back and forth and they used those electrodes on my back for a little bit to try to confuse the signals, they had me sit on one of those little birthing stools that's kind of open at the bottom. And then I got into the water as I progressed larger. I've since found, I was told that I couldn't get into the water until I'd progressed farther because it might stop my labor. But now that I unassisted home birth, I know that it's really up to the mother. Is so inspired with getting in the water. Like when she needs the edge off, she can get in the water. It can actually relax you, and you can dilate quicker that way. But that's okay because it was a good learning experience for the beginning for me, and I know that midwives are inspired too, and they have a lot of good things to add. Now, I would have done that birth a little different though, but so I was also going through things in my marriage too, so I think that where you're at with your relationship will have a lot to do with how your birth goes, so really working on your relationship with your spouse or, whoever your partner is, or maybe just relationships in your life, but especially the relationship that's going to be there with you through the birth is a big deal. That's going to help a lot with helping your birth be a better experience. And so I ended up being in the water for a while, kind of sitting there, letting my body felt like it wanted to push, but I was told don't push yet, so I was trying to stop myself from pushing. That was really hard. Again, I think your body really knows what to do, and I'm not trying to diss on any of those midwives. I think they're awesome. They did a fabulous job. I just think that I'm of the opinion that as, where I am the person birthing the baby, I think that you should really trust your body and trust what you feel, and that you're being divinely guided, whether you know it or not.
You just found a family floaty.
Okay, go out. Just a minute. Anyway, so in the end, I ended up... Go out. I ended up...
to go?
I'm taking a video. In the end, I ended up laboring for a while in the water, and then I finally was told that I could push, and so I did. And then I pushed for a while, and I think it was because I had passed that urge to push.